Okay, we're doing the Narrows in Zion National Park today, and it's a 16-mile hike down the Virgin River. Starting at a place called Chamberlain's Ranch, we took a shuttle for about an hour and a half to Chamberlain's Ranch and have done about 3 miles already down a nondescript, fairly flat dirt road. Now we're, even though it looks more like a stream to me, this is the Virgin River. We'll cross it a few times before we hit, I guess, with the part that is really considered the Narrows. It looks more canyon-y because, as you can see here, it's a bunch of scrub brush and pines and all. So there's your intro. I'll keep you informed. Alright, we've crossed the river a few times, getting ready to do another one. It's starting to look more canyon-like, these big rock structures. Gene's gonna take it across this little area, and you can see on the other side that she will pick up the trail again. It's back and forth. Eventually you're going to be in the river continually, but here's where we stand so far. Alright, so here's another example of it starting to get more cliff and canyon like. We've got to cross this area right here now because the path actually ends up on the right side of the river. We started at 7:45, it's coming up on 9:15 now. So we've probably done, I suspect, about 4 out of the 16 miles, but it's going to start to get a lot more slow go now. So we'll see you later. We have stopped for a quick snack. You can see a bend to the right in the river. I think the water's shallow enough now, I'm walking forward, that we can actually stay out of the river a fair amount, which means we can make better time. So I suspect it's lower, although you can see evidence of a lot of plants pushed down. So recently they've had water blowing through here. You know, anytime there's a hard rain, there's flash floods potential through here because of the narrowness and the canyon walls going, straight up basically. I don't know how high that bad boy goes up before you see blue sky. But you're in and out of the shade because obviously you're at the bottom of these cliffs. This massive thing. Bend over. So it's been comfortable so far and pretty cool. Alright, trying to give you a perspective of the sides of the canyon walls. I've asked Gene to go stand down by the river. See, it goes on down. So there she is. Let me see if I can back out of here. And I'll go straight up the canyon wall that's behind her until we see blue sky at the top. And you can try to hopefully get an idea. You can see some sunshine come in. You see the sky now. And as I just roll around and look backwards, I mean, part of this thing, I have the camera straight up over my head right now. Hurt my back. And swinging around. And I'll come back down to the river. So that's what we're walking in. It's coming up on 10:45, and that'll put us at the 3-hour mark. So we decided to sit on a rock in the middle of the river and take a little break. Cliffs all around. Big rock right in front of us. I'll shoot over top of Gene's head. And I'll continue on down through the river. And it goes straight up. They can finally see the sky. We're obviously in a shady spot right now. Ta-da! Alright, I'm going to try and get a picture of walking around this curve. Try to give you an example of what we're dealing with here. I don't know if you can hear the water in the background. As you can see, it's not overly deep. And we haven't even hit up to our knees yet. I mean, you could if you wanted. And clearly at certain times of the year, you would have no choice. But then you can see Gene up on the land. You know, there's places like that, you know, at this time of year that you can get out of the water if you want to, whereas other times of the year, it's obvious that that would also be underwater. You slosh through here without falling down and turn the camera off. We'll continue on. Alright, so here's one of the narrower spots we've been in, and if you look up the canyon walls, you can see the distinct line there. Jean's pointing it's higher than the tip of her stick. You can see the height that the water gets to when it's probably springtime and the water's rushing through. I imagine this has got to be closed for that, because I can't imagine going how fast the water must be rushing through this little narrow strip. Alright, here's another pretty narrow section of it, and I'll pan upwards so you can see this thing is a monstrous cliff before you'll see this blue sky. Very cool. I think we're probably approaching the halfway point, at least I hope. I can't see anything in this thing right now, so I'm probably all blue sky back down. And Jean's gone. I better go catch her. Alright, I think we've just reached the one of the key sites of a waterfall. I think it must just be beyond those big logs that have fallen across. Jean's shaking her head yes, so let's see if I can. I won't walk up there. I'll probably make you sick watching it. Alright, so there's the waterfall. So the question is, what do you do? Sit down and go through it? Or what? Alright, so there it is coming out. And if I can scooch over here. The sun's shining in the viewfinder, so I don't know what I'm seeing here, but hopefully you can see the canyon going on down. Alright, so here's the answer to the last question. We're actually behind the waterfall. That's obviously, you can see Jean walking down between two massive cliffs. And the cliff on the right, the waterfall is behind it. So we'll come out at the bottom of that waterfall I just showed you. Ta-da! Okay, so now I'm at the bottom. There we have it. The wall on the right is the one we walked behind. Massive thing. Alright, we're about 5 hours into it now, and this is the confluence of the deep creek there on the left, and over here on the right is the Virgin River that we've been coming down. Looks pretty, it's obviously very shallow at this time of year. It looks like a couple of streams coming together. And as I pan around, I don't know if you can see the yellow stick behind that tree, but that's actually a campsite, believe it or not. People backpack down here and do this in 2 days instead of one. That's one of the campsites up in there. And try not to make you sick as I work my way over to show you. So we'll be heading down here. And the water volume is supposed to increase now because Deep Creek has joined the Virgin River. So we'll see what happens. Still lots of cliffs. See you later. Okay, we started to see people coming up from the bottom, so we've got about 4 miles to go. And we've been at it for, oh God, 7.5 hours, something like that. So, long day. So it's been very, very interesting, very cool. Alright, we're thinking we're probably, I don't know, approaching 14 miles, 13, 14 mile range at this point. A lot of walking in the water. Getting a little deeper too as all these streams have continued to feed into the Virgin River. That's Jean doing her thing up ahead. And we're still obviously in the Narrows as we go on up. But frankly, we've had about enough. And it's Miller time. So we're looking forward to finishing up. Well, this is another impressive sight, so we just had to stop and take another video. Like I said, lots of water walking here recently. It's a pretty impressive view through the Narrows right here. Blue sky finally. It's been amazing. Definite must do. The 16 miles is a long way. Okay, looks like we're done. You see all those people there and that sandstone wall built? That's the end of the walkway that leads down from the Temple of Sinawaba, which is the official end of the Narrows. So it's a paved walkway, I think about a mile up to the Temple of Sinawaba, where we will pick up the shuttle bus and go find a beer or two or three. So we are right at 10 hours now, and I guess we've done 15 miles because we still got the mile walk up the pavement. But for all practical purposes, we are done, and it's been an awesome day.